Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cage Siders. Jeremy Long, along with the coach, Angelo Reyes, and we're here at the UFC Green Valley Gym, one of our favorite places in Las Vegas. We do a lot of segments here because we really love the staff here. With the, we like the building. We like hitting things. It's all
we got Combates Americas fighters training here. We got Bellator fighters training here. We got everybody coming here.
Everyone except UFC fighters. No, I'm just kidding. UFC fighters, of course, are a staple here in the UFC gym. But it's really fun. We love the guys. And speaking of loving the guys, Coach, you caught up with Ray Flores, one of our favorite guys of all time. His voice alone carries so much weight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, when you think about a person like Ray Flores, he really is the next great legendary voice of our sport. He covers both boxing and MMA. His knowledge is deep when it comes to that, and he talked to us a little bit about UFC 216, Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, so, absolutely. We caught up with him during Canelo Triple G, that whole weekend, that crazy weekend here in Las Vegas. He had a lot to tell us. Yeah, a lot to share with us, especially when it comes to his travel and his plans. So, stay with us. Watch Ray Flores.
Welcome back, Cage Sider fans, and we're joined by a very special guest. This guy, you'll see him in every walks of the fight sports, whether it's MMA, it's boxing, very knowledgeable, and such a great voice. Mr. Ray Flores, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Angelo, always a pleasure, my man. Great to be here with you in Las Vegas. This is your town, and I'm honored to be a guest in it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Now, here we are, month of October, lots of things happening in fight sports, and we know, us at Cage Siders, we know your knowledge in MMA is huge. So talk to us about your thoughts on Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson coming up here.
This fight gets me so excited, and I am glad that we're seeing Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson. No disrespect to Khabib, but you know what? I don't have to be politically correct here. I am going to disrespect Khabib. Khabib cannot stay healthy. Khabib cannot make weight. Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson, the guys come to fight every single time. They make weight. They're professionals. They like to come to the center of the octagon. They like to throw hands. And coming up, you're going to see a heck of a barn burner.
Now, when we're talking about MMA, it's not always just the UFC world, right?
No.
There's always the Bellator. Bellator just signed Frank Mir. Bellator just signed Anna Hulaton. There's a ton of different things happening for Bellator. So, in your estimation, where do you see Bellator right now, and what's your favorite thing to watch when it comes to a Bellator event?
I love watching the diversity in Bellator because I'm an old school guy like you, Angela. I remember watching, Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonner go to war. I mean, Miguel Torres, who introduced me to combat sports from a business standpoint. Love watching that guy. The Godfather 135, Faber the Godfather 145. And I like how they have these old school names that still have some left in the tank. Frank Mir, I think, has got still a long, lengthy career. You have Fedor, obviously, there. I love watching Chael Sonnen run around, Vanderlei Silva. But then you have the younger, fresher guys. You have Michael Venom Page. You have Paul Daly, who's still an old school guy. Aaron Pico, even though he suffered a loss, I think he's going to be okay. But I like this combination. Anna being in the mix. I mean, I love it. Heather Hardy as well. I think that this is a wonderful mix that we're seeing in Bellator. Like, Bellator reminds me, and we have a lot of good buffets here in Las Vegas. It's like a heck of a buffet. It's like, I'm a steak guy, but you know what? If I want a little seafood, bam. If I want a good dessert, there we go. If I want some ice cream, if I want some salad, it's all there. Bellator is the buffet for MMA, and it'll satisfy anything you want.
Wow. Scott Coker, did you hear my man right there? Bellator is the buffet for MMA. I love it, right? Now, let's talk about you in your career. PBC voice, doing all kinds of stuff. I heard you're Fight Night Live now also, right? Working with Al Bernstein, Paulie Malignaggi. This is your dream. Like you said, Miguel Torres kind of brought you into the combat sports world, but you are in the boxing world. We're like, Ray Flores, man, that's the man. So talk to us about that and you fulfilling your dream up to this point.
I've just been really fortunate, Angelo. One guy gives you an opportunity, another one, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I have worked for Premier Boxing Champions for the past 3 years, and Al Heyman and everybody that is over there has been unbelievable to me. Also working with, Mayweather Promotions, and, I started off working for Banner Promotions and, events events, Hits Boxing back in Chicago, MMA events, been all over. So I've been really fortunate to work with some of the most amazing promoters on the face of the planet. And I've learned quite a bit from a lot of different people, matchmakers, fighters, trainers, media members like yourself, everybody. So I've been really fortunate.
Now, looking back at your, so far, I mean, the career is going to go even longer and you're going to become one of the legends that we have.
Hopefully, long way to go.
But so far, in your memory, when you called a live fight, what's the one that sticks out in your head the most, whether it's boxing or MMA?
One of them has to be the David Benavidez Porky Medina fight that happened on May 21st.
And you called that fight.
I was just so honored to be there in Laredo, and David Benavidez unloaded a 7-punch combination to end the night for Porky Medina. And I'm sitting there with Sergio Moro. We went to break, and I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking ridiculous. Like, that is what the emotion that I had, because it was so beautiful to watch. When I talk about combat sports every single day of my life, because there's not a day in my life that I don't talk about combat sports, I say it is beautiful violence, because there is nothing else, whether it be football, basketball, soccer, you have 2 men or 2 women in a cage, in a ring, hand-to-hand combat, trying to oppose their will on the other human being, and one is victorious and one is the loser. That is the truest form of sport, bar none.
Guys, I'm going to drop the mic now. That is why we have great people on our show like Ray Flores. Thank you so much for giving us this exclusive. Is there anything you want to say out there to all of our fans in Azteca?
Look, I love Azteca, love Angelo. He does a heck of a job. The guy just constantly brings it, works his butt off day in, day out for you guys. Follow me on social media. SBR Flores got a lot of big stuff happening for PBC as we close out the year. 2017 has been a banner year for boxing. It's only going to continue. Get revved up for 2018. It's going to be special too.
One last thing, Ray, can you do all of that in Spanish?
Okay. Si podemos hacer en social media SBR Flores, y también tenemos un año espectacular para el final de 2027 aquí para Premier Boxing Champions en todo el deporte de boxeo. En el año que viene vamos a tener algo especial para todos.